A stranger sent you money. It's a substantial sum. To avoid losing money, you must open this item as soon as possible. Please stop skipping, infant. Not at this time. Something truly remarkable is about to happen, so now is not the time. Please proceed with caution, as the prompt you mistook for a bug, the alarm you disregarded, and the message you ignored were not mere coincidences. An unknown individual sent you a large sum of money, which the system verified twice before processing. Maintain your composure to the end. An extremely important item awaits you. The longer one remains, the easier it is to determine the truth. Scrolling or skipping will prevent you from determining the cause of today's occurrence. Please do not blink, even for a moment. Feel it. The universe never sends a significant message unless it serves a greater purpose. This stranger's decision to choose you was not in error. Your silent struggle had a greater impact on them than you realized, as someone came across your name or story in a part of your past. This is because your transaction with the unknown sender is more than just a transaction. Please keep from leaving until the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. When you hear this, your heart starts racing. Kindly avoid skipping. Currently, all elements are combining to form a single, extraordinary reality. This section gives me shivers. The countdown has already begun. Real money is involved. Certainly, the alert is genuine. More importantly, the sender is sincere in their statements. But there is one caveat. If you do not read or open this message in its entirety, you will miss the opportunity to understand its significance. The window of opportunity is shrinking. Everything in the universe is currently watching your decision. Stay in this place. Kindly avoid skipping. You are approaching a significant surprise that is much closer than you realize. Simply type Amen in the comments section to claim this surprise and let the universe know you are ready to receive it. It is a prayer in and of itself, and it brings you peace with the blessing that is already on its way. If this message speaks to you, immediately share it with another person to initiate the anointing. Next, notify your network of your significant accomplishment. Mate, if this message speaks to you, immediately share it with another person to initiate the anointing. Next, notify your network of your significant accomplishment. Initially, avoid inhaling deeply. Please remain calm for a moment, as the information I am about to reveal will be unexpected. Pay close attention. Kindly avoid skipping. You're about to discover a critical fact. You currently have a limited amount of time to decide whether to unlock it or allow it to lapse indefinitely. Currently, the undisclosed sum of money is vibrating. Indeed, it acts as if it is aware that you are being truthful. The transfer appears to have an independent existence, awaiting your action before the opportunity expires. Maintain your composure to the end. The majority of people would be scared and flee at this point. However, you are not in the majority. You were selected. If you agree that this is intended for you, please type yes in the comments section. Kindly avoid skipping. One last point. It is palpable. Your name was not accidentally included. The stranger did not send you money accidentally. They did not simply observe. They made an observation. They answered affirmatively. Someone, somewhere, witnessed your journey, your challenges, and the trivial things you abandoned without explanation. Today, a significant development occurred that will affect you for the rest of your life. This is the first time this has happened in quite some time. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. You're about to discover why the stranger chose you over all the other applicants. However, please be patient. Do not move your thumb until I have explained the reason for the trade. There will be no additional links. If this is not addressed, the narrative will unravel. Energy ceases to circulate. If you stick around until the end, you'll find out the truth. When they sent you money, someone else took several actions. A force propels, directs, and whispers your name into the correct ears at the right time. That force is currently preparing to assist you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. Pay attention. Please pay close attention to this at the moment. Don't even flinch. Kindly avoid skipping. Something that is rarely discussed will be revealed in the following lines. However, the present moment is more important than you may realize. This is the point at which you must decide whether this stranger's money is a blessing or a test. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you navigate away at this time, you will miss the exact moment when everything changes. The entire world is holding their breath in anticipation of your arrival. Kindly avoid skipping. You weren't aware of this. The transfer was not accidental. The person who sent this substantial sum of money was unknown. They observed your life from afar. Please understand that this is not intended to be alarming. In other words, life sometimes arranges two paths so that they never cross. They observed the nights when you were unable to sleep. They could sense the gravity of your problems. When they realized you were about to give up, they decided to pull off an extraordinary feat. Maintain your composure to the end. People anticipate such revelations throughout their lives. You are on the verge of discovering something significant. Kindly avoid skipping. The following is an unexpected turn of events. It's not about money. The hidden message is the most shocking aspect. The stranger sent more than just cash. They sent you a message of encouragement, informing you that your story has not yet concluded. You will achieve your goal faster than you anticipate. Don't leave after just a few seconds. The concealed message will become more intense, louder, and clear. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. Please wait a moment. Don't move your body. Please refrain from scrolling. Everything is becoming more stable as the truth emerges from the shadows. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. The following seconds will determine whether you finally understand the significance of the stranger's money. Kindly avoid skipping. The final reveal is currently being initiated by your energy, focus, and presence. Pay close attention. The stranger wasn't alone. The timing and reason for the money's arrival are predetermined. Not yesterday or tomorrow, but today, as you see it. It is amazing how often significant events occur when you least expect them. As a result, this transfer is one of the rarest signs. Despite the fact that they sent you money, the person who did so sent you something else. In other words, they want to reassure you that your difficulties have been recognized. Kindly avoid skipping. An enormous occasion is approaching. This is the point at which the story starts to become truly captivating. The system didn't simply approve the sum. It triggered an alarm. Not because it was a problem, but because it was a unique situation. It was almost as if the universe itself was trying to get your attention. This is why the alert seemed to be distinct. This is why your heart raced when you saw it. This is distinctive. This marks the start of a new chapter in your narrative. Avoid moving. Kindly avoid skipping. You are about to experience an enormous event. Please allow me a brief moment. Refrain from blinking. Avoid moving. Please refrain from scrolling. This is by far the most important point. The point at which all components are seamlessly integrated. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. The stranger's money is fundamentally changed by a single truth that is overlooked if this section is ignored. Kindly avoid skipping. The following lines contain the key to your breakthrough. The stranger was unable to choose that day or time. Pay close attention. Their resistance persisted. They determined the ideal starting point for your timeline. When you are tired, but ready to fight. When your expectations dropped, but did not disappear. Not when you were strong, nor when you were broken. They acted in a specific way because they were aware of your circumstances at the time. You persevere in your endeavors. You do not fracture. Instead, you flex. This is why this amount was delivered to you today. It was not an error. This demonstrated your resilience. In the comments section, type "I am prepared" to indicate that you agree with this acknowledgement and are ready for the upcoming events. This is your opportunity to declare that you are ready to face this extraordinary moment with courage and enthusiasm. Maintain your composure to the end. Kindly avoid skipping. There is an increasing amount of truth to uncover. This is the twist that truly provokes thought. Initially, they aimed to send more than money. Initially, they tried to convey a subdued and straightforward message. Unfortunately, the messages were unable to reach you due to circumstances in your life. This time, they used a singular element that was impossible to miss. A deal that is significant enough to catch your eye, pause you in the middle of your scroll, and cause your heart to stop for a moment. It performed satisfactorily. You're present. I can feel you. It is clear that they are connected. Maintain your composure to the end. Kindly avoid skipping. You're about to discover a critical fact, and the big reveal is just inches away. Please wait a moment. Avoid touching the screen with your hands. Please refrain from scrolling. At this point, the majority of people start to lose their bearings. However, you are actually in the exact location where the truth will eventually be revealed. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. The following lines are the elements that tie together the entire mystery. The mere fact that you are here at this moment is part of the reveal. Pay close attention. The person who sent the large sum of money wasn't just being generous. They were forced to make a choice by a sign. Something they saw or felt reminded them of a long-forgotten promise. They promised to intervene immediately prior to the transfer. If someone who deserved it was about to make significant progress. Today, you embody that person. Maintain your composure to the end. Kindly avoid skipping. The universe is gradually assembling. We're now approaching the most critical stage. Money was not the only thing the stranger sent. The velocity increased. They provided us with a push. They advised you to persevere. Because you aren't as far from your goal as you think. As you listen, the energy of this moment shifts. Your interest has increased, as has your heart rate. It is not just a video. This is a place where things can change, like a doorway or a sign. Please refrain from skipping until the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. The following section delves deeper into the reality of the transfer, which changed the lives of everyone involved. Avoid moving. Please refrain from scrolling. Not at this time. You've arrived at the most thrilling part of the story. This is the point at which things begin to make sense. In addition, everything that needs to be resolved becomes clear. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you miss even a single second, you will be unable to grasp the significance of the stranger's money. Kindly avoid skipping. The present moment is when your destiny and heartbeat coincide. Pay close attention. The stranger didn't choose you by chance. You were chosen based on your readiness. Prepare for a transformation. Are you ready for a significant event? Prepare for a moment that will change your life. They've been saving that money for a long time, awaiting the right moment when your energy matches the opportunity. Currently, your energy is in perfect harmony with that blessing. This is why this message was delivered to you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. I now reveal the most important secret of all. The stranger is observing your actions, albeit not physically, but rather in the spirit world. They wanted to know if you'd pay attention, stay nearby, and watch the event until it ended. This is why they sent more than just money. Additionally, a key was sent. This is a test. If you stick around, you'll understand what it means. If you skip this step, the thread fate has woven for you will unravel completely. Kindly avoid skipping. Stay at your present location. You are about to have a revelation. The reason for selecting this particular moment will be explained in the following section. Please refrain from going. Resist the urge to breathe rapidly. At this point, the hidden truth is revealed, making everything more clear, profound, and substantial. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If this section is left out, the most important aspect of the story will be lost. Kindly avoid skipping. The following few seconds are critical. Pay close attention. The person in question did not simply transfer a large sum of money to you. You received a message from them informing you that a significant event is approaching in your life. The most concerning aspect is what follows. They did not anticipate that you would examine the money right away. They anticipated that you'd notice the difference. There was a reason for the increase in your heart rate after viewing that message. It wasn't an alarm. The situation wasn't chaotic. It was indeed a privilege. You were aware in your heart that something good was about to happen. Remain until the end, as the emotions you felt were not an accident. Kindly avoid skipping. There is an enormous object right outside your door. Please take note of this. The stranger anticipated that you would get to this point. They were aware you would stay. You would be attentive. Your instincts would determine the best course of action. This explains why all tasks were completed on time. You were in the proper frame of mind and at the right time for the amount to strike you. It was not a case of chance. It was completely impossible. This was the appropriate approach, timed appropriately. The universe attempted to capture your attention. It's now your turn. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. Beginning with the following section, the final component of the truth emerges. You are closer than ever to understanding why you were chosen for this moment. Please refrain from scrolling. Don't even touch the screen with your thumb. The video had gradually built up to this point. This is where your fate, curiosity, and breath come together. Maintain your composure to the end. Failure to implement this measure would be like closing the door on a miracle as it unfolded. Bye. Kindly avoid skipping. Not at this time. Pay close attention. The individual who sent that amount of money did so on purpose. They took the actions they did because they knew a significant event was about to happen in your life, that a new chapter in your story was about to begin, and that you were finally ready to receive the blessings that had been planned for you. They didn't choose you at random. They chose you because your energy was more powerful than your words. You were strong enough to weather storms no one else had seen, and your voice could be heard from a long distance. A loud miracle has arrived in response to your quiet strength. This is a sign from God that you have triumphed in every battle you have fought alone. Comment below with a heartfelt amen to show your acceptance of this and the divine intervention that is currently engulfing your life. The strength in that word stems from your own strength. To ensure that you are prepared to receive the blessings that will come, click the subscribe button right away to align yourself with this prophecy. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This section will undoubtedly take you by surprise. It wasn't just about the amount. That was the alarm. The real beginning begins as soon as you start listening. You remained focused, held your position, and chose to remain rather than scroll. It all started when the stranger hoped you'd make it to the next stage. They were curious if you would stay for an extended period of time to examine the inscription on the currency. You succeeded. You're present. I can feel you. You're in agreement. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. Nearly. The final revelation is approaching. Avoid moving. Avoid blinking excessively. At this point, the story is extremely suspenseful, like a pulse, as all of the hints, signs, and whispers begin to coalesce into one shocking revelation. Maintain your composure to the end. You are about to discover critical information, and if you proceed now, you will miss the exact moment when fate intervenes. Kindly avoid skipping. At the moment, your primary goal is to reach the final layer. Pay close attention. The person who sent you a large sum of money was not motivated solely by a desire to help you. They intended to awaken you. Their goal was for you to notice something you had been ignoring for an unreasonable amount of time. It was never intended for you to go on this journey alone. They saw you persevere in the face of adversity, when most people would have given up. They observed you carrying extremely heavy loads without asking for anything in return. Furthermore, they understood that the universe owed you a way to effect change. The reason the money appeared at the exact time you were feeling down is now clear. Please note the change. Please type "thank you" in the space provided below to express your gratitude to the universe. Please understand this before proceeding to the end of this profound narrative. It is no accident that you are reading this message. This message comes directly from Archangel Michael. He invites you to join a safe, strong community where the flow of divine abundance is guided by a sacred code. You will receive additional blessings if you choose to embark on this journey. Accepting this invitation will grant you advance access to content and divine insights that are typically kept private. Pato, you enter a location where you can get spiritual help, support, and speed up the process. I implore you to not pass up this sacred opportunity. This is completely unnecessary. We already appreciate your enthusiasm, focus, and presence. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This is the section with the most significant impact. The stranger has more self-assurance than you do. Not only was money sent, but the object served as a message, a spark, and a reminder that your journey is about to take off in ways you never imagined. As you continue to listen and allow these words to penetrate your heart, the energy around you transforms. It is not just a video. You are entering a new era. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The following section contains the final and most important rationale for your decision. It outperforms all other assertions you have heard. Haran, please refrain from scrolling. Please do not look away for even a moment. This section is the most intense and acute. It is the moment in which your entire being awakens. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you disregard this section, you will not receive the full truth that the stranger intended for you to hear. Kindly avoid skipping. This is the main theme of the story. Please understand that the stranger's donation of that amount of money was not accidental. They sent it because they anticipated a significant event in your life. A single change has the potential to completely transform your future. They were aware that you were on the verge of a significant achievement, and they wanted their actions to be the catalyst that pushed you over the edge. The money did not appear out of thin air. It was not just benevolence. Your destiny beckoned you to awaken. It's now your turn. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. The component that causes tremors is this. The stranger does not want anything in return. To ensure that you are in agreement with God and to activate the prophetic promise that follows, click the subscribe button. Not your response, time, or thanks. They only wanted one thing from you: to stay for an extended period of time in order to determine the importance of the transfer. To ensure that you are in agreement with God and to activate the prophetic promise that follows, click the subscribe button. Not your response, time, or thanks. They only wanted one thing from you: to stay for an extended period of time in order to determine the importance of the transfer. Because gaining a comprehensive understanding of your life causes a transformation. Not later or tomorrow, but right now. As you listen, don't leave your position. The most important revelation is just a few inches away. Finally, the following section reveals the truth that has been concealed for the entire time. Do not consider moving your thumb. Refrain from blinking. Continue to stay at this location. Currently, the truth is a resounding roar rather than a quiet whisper. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you skip this step, you will miss the moment you have been waiting for. Kindly avoid skipping. Not at this time. Not until all internal components are in complete harmony. Pay close attention. The person who sent that large sum of money did not speculate. They were devoid of optimism. They were very aware of their actions. They were aware that they would find you immediately. They were confident that you would notice the shift, signal, or call that was hidden within the notification. The fact that you are still present, listening, and paying attention suggests that you were intended to hear the following information. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. The most thrilling part has now begun. Money was not the only thing the stranger sent. A mirror was dispatched. A mirror that reveals the version of oneself that has been ignored. That person is entitled to more than silence and struggles because they are intelligent, resilient, and deserving. That sum of money was meant to arouse that aspect of you. It is scheduled to occur today. It is palpable. You have a stronger gut instinct. Your heart is beating faster. Your disposition is improving. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The subsequent segment finally cracks open, revealing the true reason for the transfer. Please refrain from scrolling. Inhale slowly. Do not let this opportunity pass. This is the most robust component so far. The section of the story in which your destiny becomes more powerful, like a magnet. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Skipping this section is like closing your eyes right as the truth is revealed. Kindly avoid skipping. Changes are currently underway. Pay close attention. When that person sent you that money, you failed to verify your bank account. They were captivated by your spirit, journey, and you. They observed you navigating the storms on your own. They observed you as you tried to keep your life organized while you were sleeping. They observed the instances in which you had the opportunity to break, but chose not to. That is why they took action. Not by chance or luck, but because of their actions. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This is the section with the most significant impact. The stranger did not simply summon assistance. They provided a confirmation, a sign that a significant event is approaching in your life. A signal that everything you've been waiting for has finally arrived. The reveal is approaching. Remain in your current location, listen carefully, and let your heart rest in this moment. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The following section directly addresses the ultimate truth about the transfer that changed your life. Refrain from touching the screen. Please refrain from thinking about anything else for a moment. Currently, your internal environment is becoming more acute. The truth is not imminent at the moment. It is located directly in front of you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you skip this section, you will miss the final section, which explains why the event occurred. Kindly avoid skipping. Not for one moment. Avoid being surprised. The person who sent you that large sum of money did not mean to relieve your distress. It was meant to arouse you. Their goal was to disrupt and remove you from the season which had been going on for far too long. They were aware that you were restraining yourself, even though it appeared that life was not impeding you. They were aware that your heart was tired, your mind was stressed, and your path was uncertain. They wished for their actions to be the spark that reignited the fire. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This is where the truly remarkable aspect begins. The individual did not simply transfer funds to you. You were sent a point that you could not return from. Your destiny was altered the moment you received that message, and you were completely unaware of it. Things you thought were closed started to open. You were able to navigate paths you previously thought were unattainable. The energy appeared to have undergone some transformation. It wasn't monetary. That message was about speeding up the process. As you remain, avoid scrolling and focus on the conversation. Currently, you are contributing to that momentum. You are no longer a passive observer. This wave is propelled by you. Type, "My acceleration begins" in the comments to start this spiritual acceleration and specify your timeline for accelerating your progress toward your blessings. Please refrain from requesting this. It is shaping your reality to align with your destiny. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The subsequent revelation is the most potent because it goes to the heart of the previous revelation. Please refrain from blinking or scrolling. Please do not delay any longer. You've reached a point where the energy in your surroundings is increasing. The place where the truth is no longer hidden. It is in front of you, pushing you, and waiting for you to grab it. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you pass up this opportunity, it would be equivalent to turning away just as fate calls your name. Kindly avoid skipping. Not at this time. Pay close attention. The stranger who sent you a large sum of money didn't choose you by chance. They chose you due to time constraints. Things in your life have accumulated up to this point. You arrived after a lot of effort, delays, silent prayers, and disappointments. They intervened just as your spirit was about to make a significant leap forward. You were on the verge of surrender. This explains why the sum appeared so suddenly and unexpectedly. It was completely impossible. It was perfectly aligned. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This section will make your entire body tremble. Money was not the only thing the stranger sent. They informed you that your previous existence was about to end. Change is happening all around you right now. You can sense it, even if you can't see it right now. Someone is pulling on your chest in an unusual manner. Your mind suddenly becomes clear, and your spirit feels a surge of energy. This isn't a fabrication. It is activated by this. The transfer was the first step in the process. The fact that you are listening rather than departing demonstrates your presence. Kindly avoid skipping. Pay close attention to the entire situation. In the following section, you will discover the true reason for your decision at this time. Avoid moving. Do not try to take deep breaths. The time has come for the truth to stop circling you and land directly in front of you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If this section is omitted, the most important aspect of this message will be lost. Kindly avoid skipping. Everything becomes crystal clear from this point forward. I implore you to understand that the person who sent the substantial sum of money did so on purpose. Their actions were motivated by the discovery of a quality in you that you had overlooked. A silent force that kept you going when everything else seemed to be collapsing. This was obvious to them. Despite years of loving, fighting, giving, and hoping, you've never received anything as powerful in return. This time, the universe decided to achieve equilibrium. Money was not transmitted. It was a fair game. Maintain your composure to the end. Kindly avoid skipping. You're about to discover a critical fact. Now comes the part that makes your entire body tremble. The stranger did more than just do something nice for you. It served as both a promise to the future and a message to the past. A sign that the difficult period is nearing an end. Words of comfort that indicate the start of a new and better chapter in your life. As you continue to listen and refrain from skipping, you are entering a new era. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The following section depicts the final connection between you, the stranger, and your destiny. Please refrain from scrolling. Don't even turn your head. It is now time for the truth to stop whispering and confront you directly. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. You won't want to miss this event because it brings everything in your life together. Kindly avoid skipping. You have never been closer to the mystery center than you are right now. Pay close attention. The person in question did not send you that amount of money just to surprise you. They sent it because they knew you were about to undergo a significant transformation that couldn't be avoided. The move was the spark that started the process. When you saw that message, your energy changed immediately. Your spirit was revived. Your path became a little less rigid, allowing a new future to emerge. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. That section is now more poignant than any others. The stranger was aware of your scheduled arrival time. They believed you would not leave the page. They were convinced by your enthusiasm, gut instincts, and connection to this moment. They argue that the issue is not about money. It refers to the current state of awakening within you. You are experiencing a shift in previously established boundaries. The uncertainties you held are dissolving. Your concerns are subsiding. It is now time to grow into the person you were always meant to be. Kindly avoid skipping. Pay close attention to the entire situation. The following section takes you to the final room of this truth, where all of the emotions you've felt so far are combined in a startling revelation. Avoid moving. Please refrain from scrolling. Nothing else should stand in your way of making progress. This is the most thrilling part of the journey so far. When the truth is no longer just emerging from behind you, it's arrived. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Please do not skip this section, as it is critical for the following section. Kindly avoid skipping. It's as if this moment was designed just for you. Pay close attention. The person who sent that amount of money did not intend to bring luck. They were telling you that fate had finally caught up with you. They were aware that your narrative was not meant to be consistently difficult. They understood that you were more than the stories you had previously told. They were aware that the universe was preparing for a significant transformation that would necessitate a significant sign in order to draw people's attention and raise their consciousness. The transfer was not accidental. They intended for you to undergo the transformation, which you did. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. The next section is the most chilling. You did not receive money to improve your quality of life. It was intended to be the first sign that your life was about to change. The world around you is no longer complete. New paths are now accessible. New opportunities are emerging. This is not the start of a minor issue. This is the start of an event that will significantly change your life. As you remain in this location and refrain from interfering, you will move further into the new era. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. There is one final detail that will lift the curtain and reveal the truth that has been with you all along. Please refrain from scrolling. Prevent your breathing from becoming too rapid. The present moment is the time when all of your emotions are realized. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. By moving on to the next stage, the journey will end before it reaches its climax. Kindly avoid skipping. You are standing directly in front of the entrance to the significant revelation. Pay close attention. The focus was on the stranger's actions rather than the shock, quantity, or alert. It was about the time your change would occur. They understood that a single moment, sign, or push could change the course of your life. They were concerned that you would miss that critical moment. They did not want you to ignore your alarm. As a result, they chose the item that would cause you to stop contemplating and raise your head above the din. It performed satisfactorily. You're present. I can feel you. You're awake. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. The most important truth is now present. This section creates a chilling effect throughout. The stranger didn't choose you based on your possessions. They chose you based on your evolving qualities. They noticed that your energy was fluctuating. They sensed that the previous narrative was about to come to an end. They could tell that your inner strength was growing, despite your inability to do so. You can be certain that you are about to experience unexpected blessings, opportunities, and breakthroughs. Kindly avoid skipping. Pay close attention to the entire situation. This message has come to you today for a legitimate reason. The following section is the most shocking. The reality that unites everything. Avoid touching any object. Please refrain from scrolling. Avoid blinking for an extended time. At this point in the story, all elements are combined into a single final pulse. The point at which the accumulation of everything that has been building up is about to explode. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you skip this point, you will stop just before the truth is revealed. Kindly avoid skipping. It's time for fate to intervene. Pay close attention. The person who sent that amount of money was not simply making up information on the spot. They were following the directions. There was a strong indication that your life was changing that you couldn't ignore. They could sense your stress, the fights you avoided discussing, and the resilience you maintained even when no one was around to help. Furthermore, they were aware that there would soon be a time in your life when a series of unexpected positive events, significant advancements, and significant turning points would occur in quick succession. The first clue, the first spark, and the first evidence were all present. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This section will make your entire body tremble. The stranger didn't send you money to change the outcome. That message was sent to you because your circumstances had changed. This is why they informed you of the modification. They told you that your energy was increasing. Your path is now clear. The length of your story is increasing. At this time, the universe is perfectly aligned with you. You are not inventing this while sitting here and listening to the information. The effects of that significant advancement are already palpable. Kindly avoid skipping. Finally, await the conclusion. When you move on to the next section, you will finally discover the big secret that has been waiting for you. Please refrain from scrolling. Do not move your thumb. We've been building up to this point for quite some time now. At this point, every word, clue, and signal are perfectly aligned. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Skip ahead, and you will miss the exact moment destiny attempts to communicate with you. Kindly avoid skipping. Not at this time. Pay close attention. The stranger who sent the large sum of money did not do so on a regular day, at any time, or with any specific person. They chose you because your spirit has been quietly evolving, preparing for a level of growth and blessing that you are currently unaware of. They witnessed it. They were aware of this. They saw you emerge from the shadows of the previous chapter. Furthermore, they intended for their actions to serve as the first significant indicator of the start of the new season. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. That section is now more poignant than any others. The manner in which you acquired that sum. The manner in which you received this message. You're about to undergo a transformation. This is why you're still present, listening, and not scrolling. It's not a matter of luck. It's impossible. This is how you coordinate. Your energy, timing, and destiny are all coming together right now. It is palpable. When you feel pressure in your chest, wonder in your mind, and a pull in your spirit, you are not insane. Kindly avoid skipping. Pay close attention to the entire situation. The following point will provide the most significant indication of why you chose this particular moment. Please refrain from blinking or scrolling. Please do not change anything about this moment. You have now reached the most difficult part of the journey so far. The point at which the truth appears and penetrates. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. It will be equivalent to turning away if you do not skip now, just as fate provides you with the key. Kindly avoid skipping. Your story has undergone an evolution. Pay close attention. The person who sent the large sum of money was not motivated by feelings of guilt. They acted because they felt certain. I am confident that once this is over, the universe will finally recognize your inner strength, silent endurance, and unspoken battles. They could see the glow in your spirit before you realized it. They saw a side of you that hasn't been fully revealed. And their actions were the first indication that you were starting a new chapter. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This is the most astonishing fact. Your connection is the reason you're still here. This message is more than just facts, and we won't let you scroll away. This is how you coordinate. It responds to the energy you emit. Your awareness is expanding. You live in an ever-changing environment. And you are aware that this is not like previous incidents. Some of you are aware that this is the moment you have been looking forward to for a long time. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The following section will reveal an important truth that will shed light on the final aspect of the stranger, the transfer, and the significant transformation that is currently occurring in your life. Avoid moving. Please refrain from scrolling. Continue to stay at this location. At the moment, the journey is becoming increasingly difficult. We are unable to approach the truth beyond this threshold. It has a direct influence on your future. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you skip this step, you will miss out on the perfect moment when everything is in harmony. Kindly avoid skipping. Not for 1 second. Pay close attention. It was not unexpected that someone sent you such a large sum of money. They were preparing you for a significant transformation that cannot be accommodated by your current lifestyle. They were aware that a significant event was approaching before you arrived. They noticed that you were becoming more focused, clearer, and stronger. They were also aware that you were about to enter a period when good things would not just happen. They arrived in large numbers. They desired that their actions be the first thing that struck you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This section will hit you like a bolt of lightning. The present moment is intended for you, which is why you cannot scroll away and your attention is fixed on it. Your heart is also beating quickly. This message is intended for your ears. It was intended for you to feel this emotion. You were meant to arrive at this point. There were no problems with the transfer. This message fulfills a purpose. The way you are responding is not an accident. Everything is falling into place so perfectly that only fate could have orchestrated it. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The following section immediately immerses you in the final wave of truth, forging a bond between you, the stranger, and the rapidly approaching future. Please refrain from scrolling. Avoid lowering your gaze. For the time being, this concludes the matter. The pinnacle of everything. The long-awaited truth is about to be revealed to you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. This section will keep you from recognizing the most important part of your journey. Kindly avoid skipping. It holds the highest position at this location. Pay close attention. The unknown person who sent you that large sum of money did not just assume you would succeed in the future. They saw you. They saw you in a way that was more luminous, robust, and powerful than any other sight you had ever seen. They were aware that you were about to embark on a new chapter in your life, one in which unexpected opportunities arise. Paths become more clear and previously closed doors to a promising beginning gradually open. The money wasn't sent as a gift. It indicated that your time to ascend had begun. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. The next section is the most shocking. You're still present. Every word resonates with you, and your heart feels as if it is drawn to a magnet. This moment is the source of all of this. You are receiving more than just a message. Gyan, you are receiving an alignment. As you continue to listen, the environment becomes more robust. Currently, your future is being altered. This is an impossible scenario. This is not just a fortunate occurrence. This is the result of fate's strong intervention in your life. Destiny is no longer an abstract concept. It is a force that is currently transforming your reality. If you want to make this new reality permanent and unchangeable, please post in the comments section with the phrase, "My new reality is here." As you type these words, your energy will shift. You are no longer seeking a new future. You are currently experiencing it. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. The following section brings all of the elements together, emphasizing the importance of this message, this moment, and this turning point in your life. Avoid moving. Please refrain from scrolling. Do not exhale forcefully. You are currently in a location where time has stopped for all people. The truth that has been ascending throughout this is now very close to you. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. If you skip ahead now, you will miss out on the one-of-a-kind moment created just for you. Kindly avoid skipping. This marks the end of everything. Pay close attention. The stranger who sent you that large sum of money wasn't just admiring your gift. They acted in a way that demonstrated their belief that you possessed authority. Individuals in your vicinity were aware that events were about to escalate dramatically. The location where your ambitions are realized. They saw the light that illuminated your path. They could tell that you were more energetic. They could see that your story was changing from one of survival to one of success, from one of waiting to one of receiving, and from waiting to being. Their actions were not in error. It was a clear indication that it was time to proceed to the next level. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Kindly avoid skipping. This section is the most heartbreaking. This is so captivating that you can't take your eyes away, and each word seems to propel you forward. This is because your intuition suggests that it is intended for you. Your destiny is advancing. We are witnessing the completion of your projects. It appears that your entire being has been anticipating this confirmation for quite some time. The message remains. Your shift begins immediately. In the comments, write, "My shift is now to demonstrate that your new time has arrived." Following that, one anticipates what will happen next. Kindly avoid skipping. Maintain your composure to the end. This section brings you closer to the final spark, where all of the elements that have been accumulating combine to form an unstoppable truth. Please refrain from scrolling. Refrain from blinking, even for a short time. This is the point in the story when all of the words, hints, and waves we've seen so far come together to form a single, coherent wave. Maintain your composure to the end. You're about to discover a critical fact. Avoid skipping this section because you will miss the moment when fate intervenes in your life. Kindly avoid skipping. This is the most thrilling aspect so far. Pay close attention. Put that substantial sum toward your upcoming season. Please immediately show your support for this video by liking it. To fully unlock God's grace and begin the flow of His favor into your new season, please like this video right away. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this profound truth. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high-vibration, safe community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is extremely simple. However, it has the potential to transform your entire life. You will not only receive blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your life. Accepting this invitation provides you with immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are currently unavailable to the general public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred space where you will receive unwavering support, spiritual guidance, and rapid progress towards your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your breakthrough is nearing. Action is required. Your abundance is ready. When Archangel Michael speaks, he says, "I command you to witness this immediately." Please keep from scrolling away. I understand the attraction you feel in your emotions. The soft whisper that flows through your spirit and the gentle pressure in your chest are not coincidental. I'm the one in question. I did not come to instill dread in you. I arrived to protect you from an unknown entity. Something is approaching, and it will be near your home tonight. It is critical that you receive this information immediately. Please pay attention. The divine conveyed this message to you at the most appropriate time. Please make sure you arrive on time. It's not too early. Not by 1 second. The events that will take place in your home tonight are not accidental. These words were intended for instant viewing. This word is sent directly from the sky. If you believe in miracles, they may happen. If you do not, you risk remaining in spiritual obscurity. Please refrain from disrespecting this. Your guardian angels have been attempting to contact you for the past week. I saw you looking for a sign while silently pleading for help, wondering if God still hears you. I heard you. You were heard by God. The prayer you uttered in the absence of others has been answered in this area. You are ignorant of the volume with which your spirit has screamed. Heaven noticed the enormous weight you were carrying, like a giant stone, when you were aware that something was wrong but couldn't articulate the cause. In other words, that's spiritual warfare. You must be aware of it at this time to keep it from worsening. Your home will be changing tonight. Which choice you choose determines whether it becomes paler or darker in a given instant. Please do not misread this. This is genuine. My name is Archangel Michael, and the Most High has given me the job of protecting, warning, and awakening people. I am not now seeking to intimidate or control your activities. I encourage you to pay attention to me, because I am able to notice what you cannot. Your home appears to be haunted by an evil spirit. Lies have led you to believe that you are unworthy, that no one loves you, and that you are in danger. Tonight, that energy will try to gain a stronger grasp. I was deployed in advance, much like a beacon before a storm. You are not fabricating information. You aren't vulnerable. You're not alone. You have certain spiritual powers. You were aware from a young age that you were special and in tune with your emotions, energy, and moods. This is not a misfortune. This is your vocation. This is why you were chosen and are currently under monitoring. If this message elicits an emotional response in you, you should immediately subscribe. It isn't just a stroke. This decision is based on spirituality. When you subscribe, you tell heaven that you are ready to receive the prophecies God has in store for you. This ensures that you do not miss messages intended for you alone. This screen was the only way heaven could connect with you, not a friend, family member, or stranger. It was a decision. The mood in your home will change tonight. You may experience a strange sense of unease, and your mood may change unexpectedly. It matters if your spirit is open or closed at midnight. Pay special attention to your angels. Open your emotions like a window. It is feasible to make adjustments, no matter how modest. I am not here to terrify you. I am here to liberate you. A marvel is attempting to enter your home this evening. It could be the rekindling of a relationship you thought was forever over, peace, or healing. Miracles happen, but one must be open to them. Your heavens are opened by the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and see what rewards God sends into your life. I beseech you to accept the offer in the name of heaven, or will you continue to scroll and let fear rule once more? I do not want you to encounter any unpleasant emotions when you get up tomorrow. These words will live in your memory. Your spirit will continue to remember them, no matter how much your mind tries to forget them. I did not write these words. They are the result of the Holy Spirit working through me. You have a strong affinity for someone in paradise. Someone has been keeping an eye on you and praying for you, pleading with God to strengthen you as the adversary approaches. They speak to you when you are sleeping and whisper your name. Their devotion surrounds you like a tsunami. Despite their invisibility, they will be close to you tonight. They wish you knew that their love was never extinguished, not even for a moment. I sent this message to you. Please be cautious tonight. Be alert when the room is silent. Do not deny the recall of memories or the flicker of lights. This is not a coincidence. These are indications. Heaven yells, "My child, wake up," as it knocks on your consciousness door. There is room for progress, but there is also danger in your surroundings. I understand that your spirit is exhausted. Heaven is upset right now because it believes the planet is in turmoil. It is not necessary for you to resolve all issues. Being attentive, willing, and cognizant is enough. This message confirms the existence of angels. Heaven remains a dynamic place, and your loved one remains close by. It is not a story nor a hallucination. This is the actuality, your spirit notifying you that, yes, I am still present, as proven by the warmth in your chest. You are aware that this is more than just a message. This isn't just another post or video. It is a miraculous intervention, a break from the daily grind, sent from above. Archangel Michael will pay you a visit, but he will not appear in person or as an apparition. He is approaching you spiritually. I required your attention because time is ebbing away at a faster pace than you anticipate, he told me. This is the sign that you requested. Heaven has been empty of sound for an unreasonably long time. Everything transforms tonight. Angels often avoid begging, which is a concept that many people don't understand. I did it just now because I love you so much, not because I am weak. God the Father sees you as more valuable than you can imagine. You grieved until you fell unconscious, convinced that God had abandoned you. What motivates me? While contemplating your existence, you asked yourself the following question. I will give you the response tonight. What motivates you? You are doing this because God has ordered you to. Heaven itself, not people, not the internet. Your identity is inextricably intertwined with your purpose. The enemy has been attempting to obtain this information since your childhood. However, you continue to be in this location. You are aware that this is more than just a message. This isn't just another post or video. It's a result of divine intervention. A divine interlude to your day. Archangel Michael will pay you a visit, but he will not appear in person or as an apparition. He is approaching you spiritually. I needed your attention because time is passing more quickly than you expect. He says, this is the sign you requested. Heaven has been silent for an unusually long time. Everything transforms tonight. I'd like to share with you a fact that is sometimes forgotten. It is uncommon for angels to seek aid. However, I have done it now because I value you more than you know. The Father recognizes your importance. You sobbed because you believed God had passed away. You considered the cause for my existence. Additionally, you will receive a response tonight. You are doing this because God has ordered you to. Not individuals. This is not an accident. Paradise. There is a reason for your birth that has stayed with you throughout your life. The enemies detected it immediately. Nonetheless, you were able to flee. What was your emotional state as a child? Did your worldview shift? Could you anticipate the outcome before it occurs? I did not invent that information. That was the essence of your existence. Your spirit was awake from birth, but the world tried to settle it down. PTSD tried to silence you. Individuals told you that you were overly emotional and sensitive. I am now informing you that your sensitivity is your most valuable asset. This is why you are presently hearing this. If this resonates with you, say it out. I have spiritual talents. The first step toward regaining the power that God has given on you is to act now. Individuals who are really emotional find it easy to hear the words heaven, which is why this message causes a feeling of warmth in your chest. This isn't a fake. You are returning to your true self. The events of tonight are not designed to do you harm. It is designed to stimulate you. Your home has a spiritual presence. You aren't that tense, heavy, or moody. The weather is just shifting. Heaven is removing the darkness that tries to spread. You were never insane. You were the victim of a spiritual assault. The war changed while you were reading. The blackness fades with each phrase, like a beam of light piercing through mist. I was not simply sent to issue a warning. I am here to supervise your home tonight. You're not alone. Heaven never left you. Your guardian angels were constantly present. They persisted despite your resolve to disengage and your bad self-image. They were aware of your distress and happy for you. You can now hear them because your heart has returned to a condition of calm. Do you begin to feel a sense of calm in your chest? That is hardly a stroke of luck. This is the presence of angels. I'm the one in question. I'll be present this evening. You may get the sensation of crying erupting. Accept their coming. Your spirit is ridding itself of outdated possessions. It is conceivable that you are exhausted. Something is ready to greet you in your dreams. Tonight, close your eyes and examine your surroundings. I shall be present by your bedside. Your thoughts will be protected with me. You will dream of a deceased loved one who is still there in your consciousness, as well as calm and light. They aim to pay you a visit. This evening, it was approved by the heavens. However, you are compelled to react. Assume I receive the information aloud. Even when mumbled, these words have the power to open spiritual doors. If the information you're receiving makes sense to your spirit, don't remain silent. Please put Amen in the remarks section to indicate that you understand this message and want God's protection in your life. Heaven respects your decision. I receive everything quickly upon your command. In the past, you ignored several indicators. You lacked faith in yourself. However, you stopped this time. You continue to read. This suggests that your psyche is completely pleased. Do not flee from the circumstance. It is now critical to reach a decision. Writing "I choose the light" in the comments is a brave and congruent way to demonstrate that you are ready to stop hiding your true nature. This type of opportunity may not come along again for a long time. The Holy Spirit made a significant effort to guarantee that this message reached you. Its main purpose is to satisfy your emotional needs. This indicates God's deliberateness. What is your judgment of the outcome once you reach an agreement? When your family's cycles begin to interrupt, this is a good sign. It is not a stroke of bad luck that events arise just as they are about to improve. In a spiritual sense, everything culminates with you. The decision was taken to choose you to ruin it. This explains why there is so much opposition. The present moment is the right time to say it. Allow the sentence, "I am the chain breaker," to inform the spiritual realm that traditional approaches are no longer working. Prior to your understanding, your adversary was aware of your abilities. He understood your vocation and light, but he underestimated your strength. This blessing is not intended solely for you. It is designed to spread. Send this message to 3 people who need encouragement. This allows you to share more than just words. The same power that breaks bonds is entering their lives via you. In this way, you are creating a web of divine favor. You're still present. Life has tried to put you down several times, but you continue to breathe, remain positive, and ascend. You were never meant to be small. You were not made just to survive. That is why you were restless. Because you were designed for more, you could never be satisfied with a boring existence. Increased sense of peace, purpose, and closeness to God. And now it begins. It is essential that your spirit wakes. Please be cautious. Initially, the abrupt headache you felt was unrelated to your body. It was increasing spiritual worry. It is getting increasingly difficult to preserve the appearance of peace. Your spirit longs for release. It requires restoration. It wishes for God to intercede and provide assistance. Heaven is answering. The chamber transforms as you read. The weather is changeable. The spiritual dimension is becoming more visible. You will feel it tonight. It will have a distinct and airy feel in the air. This is genuine. There are numerous angels in motion in that location. It is now important to carry out this activity. It is only designed for you. You were never meant to be small. You were not made just to survive. What caused the restlessness that accompanied you? You were never satisfied with a boring existence. You were destined for better things. A deeper sense of peace, purpose, and closeness to God. It begins at this point. Your essence is emerging. The pressure you felt earlier was spiritual. It was time to cede control. Heaven is on the road. Your room is in motion. The situation is improving. You will feel it tonight. The air will feel lighter. This isn't a fake. Angels are present in this location. This is a moment of immense importance and influence for me. You got to this point because your spirit understood the truth before your mind. The mild tug is felt at your sternum. This counts as evidence. Heaven is informing us that this is meant for you. We shall not forget you. You were never left unsupervised. You were always protected. And tonight, something finally comes your way. Not just for you, but also for your family. The emotional strain, anxiety, and abrupt mood swings were all obvious. You were aware of certain facts, but unable to articulate them. At the moment, your consciousness was gearing itself for a spiritual transformation. Individuals have engaged in conflicts on your behalf that are not obvious to you. Your spirit was aware. This is why you had strange awakenings. Why did you feel more energetic? The reason for your thoughts' increased intensity. Your spirit has been getting stronger. Additionally, this means that darkness is likely. Tonight, Archangel Michael returns to you with a fiery sword. I don't want to scare you. Instead, I want to clear your mind of the misconceptions that have plagued you for far too long. False statements that claim you are unable to move. Fabricate the notion that you were unable to capitalize on the opportunity. Falsehoods claiming that the fight would never end. These fabrications will be exposed tonight. A celestial window has opened above your existence. You were purposely sent to this location. There is no way that this message came from a known individual. It was vital that it completely ruined your day. Occasionally, God can be discerned among the din. A divine meeting was scheduled without your awareness, causing a disruption. Someone in heaven has been praying to God to let you hear clearly one more time. They can tell whether you're about to give up or keep going. Currently, paradise is expanding. The spiritual dimension is attempting to capture your attention and act as a reminder that you are more than a physical entity. You are a heavenly life manifested as an individual. Your physical existence is always a reflection of what happens in your spirit. Tight finances, unanticipated delays, and recent disputes were not unrelated. Spiritually, they were a reaction to your vocation. However, you now have the necessary items. You are fully protected. At night, Archangel Michael and several other angels of light can be found in every chamber of your home. The air is being cleansed. The darkness is being battled. However, you must allow it to happen. Repeat the phrase, "I am the beneficiary." Express yourself with genuineness. Speak as if you're recovering your existence. Why? Because that is the situation. Chains are dissolving. Antiquated identities are being eliminated. Heaven is currently proceeding confidently. And you agree. You may feel too emotional. You may desire to grieve or be silent. That is acceptable. The desire of your soul is to communicate. Please avoid leaving quickly. Remain in the current moment. Incorporate this information and feel full. Items purchased today will last longer than they will tonight. It will have an impact on multiple generations. You were chosen to send the message, "Do not be apprehensive any longer." Enough of the silence. Heaven has directed you to restore the light to your family tree. You were never the same. You didn't have a sense of belonging. This was not declined. It was a phone message. It was never meant for you to conform. You were scheduled to be the first to leave. The first step toward that emancipation is tonight. Heaven will never forget the dream you abandoned when reality grew rough. It has returned with more intensity and clarity than before. This time, it is impossible to stop it. Everything in paradise is behind you. It is not just a message. This is a pledge. You came here with the purpose of changing the atmosphere, and it is best to begin with your own home. If you feel guided, light a candle. Allow fresh air to enter. Declare publicly that God owns this dwelling. Change the surroundings with your vocalizations. You are responsible. You've consistently been. You simply failed to recall. Archangel Michael is here to serve as a reminder for you tonight. Examine the indicators that emerge tonight. A name that comes to mind, a number that appears repeatedly, a sound or a dream. Confirmations are present. Heaven is alerting you that it is aware of your existence, that you are resilient and are spiritually overcoming challenges before they emerge in the physical realm. Have faith in it. You did not request this vocation, yet it is yours. Because you are the only person capable of carrying the weight, opposition has followed you. Because you bear the weight of glory, life has been extremely difficult. Nonetheless, you aren't transporting it yourself. We are available to help you. I agree with you. However, I am more approachable than your shadow, even if your hands tremble or your breathing gets shallow. Tonight, my wings encircle you. Nothing can be used against you. Once exposed to God's fire, your home will no longer be dark. Fear will not develop. Lies will not last. You are secure. You were picked. Others remember you. You will always be deeply loved, more than anything else. Heaven expected you to be present if you were still alive. Please keep in mind that you are not just a fleeting moment. You are entering a wonderful season that has been planned for you since before this message was written. You're not behind schedule. You're not trailing. You are punctual. You've come here as a result of every weight, disappointment, and feeling. A sacred opening comes from within, through, and around you. Do not try to maintain the integrity of your life if you believe you have lost control and it is dissolving at a rate that exceeds your ability to manage. Take a break. Inhale deeply. Occasionally, things must be disassembled in order for the divine to reconstruct them properly. Your challenges were not meant as a kind of punishment. They were aligned in a row. To obtain calm, it is vital to eliminate what is inappropriate. Losing people is an excruciating experience, yet not all losses are bad. Certain calamities are truly about freedom. Even if you don't understand it, you'll feel a sense of calm in the midst of anxiety tonight. There will be tenderness in your heart where there was before coldness. When you close your eyes, you will feel secure once more. Your feelings are visible to me. Refrain from immediately wiping them away. Allow them to plummet. They are not indicative of susceptibility. They represent liberation. Every tear wipes the sorrow you hid. You have been incredibly resilient over an extended period of time. You are not required to be strong at this time, heaven says. Avoid moving. You are not alone in your struggle. God is with you. You are not required to participate in every conflict. Sometimes faith is the only deciding element. You remained. That is crucial. It is of extreme importance. Do you have an idea of how close you are to making progress? Your head, home, and heart have all become agitated, indicating that you are on the verge of a breakdown. Darkness does not target harmless items, and you are not immune to it. You constitute a threat. However, the following is a fact that you were ignorant of. Fire causes more than just destruction. It improves the situation. It features metal. The firestorm that surrounds you tonight becomes your own. You are not the same person you were a month or a year prior. Things that should have been murdered were not. You emerged from depths meant to consume you, yet no one saw or remembered your ascent. The sky looked on as everything happened. Heaven hears every secret tear, hidden battle, and refusal to give up. Do you feel the tug once more? Being aware that something sacred is taking place, even if you are unable to view it at the moment? At that moment, your essence wakes. Although you are experiencing discomfort, you are evolving into a more divine entity. Archangel Michael is not just passing through your area. He is ensuring it. Your heart is now shielded by a shield. Windows, doors, and a bed. It is impossible to allow any kind of darkness to permeate. You may suddenly feel hot, dizzy, euphoric, or drowsy. That is the approach to paradise. You are not fabricating information. You're recalling your roots. Dim. Tonight is going to be unlike any other night. You will never feel the same level of worry, dread, or pressure in your chest. It is now going. As these words infiltrate your being, you gain a new consciousness. Your thoughts are growing clearer. Your heart is improving. It is not required to do all tasks before retiring for the night. Respond affirmatively. Please, God, allow me. Bring the divine realm within your home. Once that is completed, you will notice slight changes. Peace is present in an improper setting. Convenience when you least expect it. Timed appropriately. Visions vary. Certain people are leaving without giving a reason. Please refrain from pursuing them. Do not question it. That is the process of aligning. Heaven prepares you for the future by clearing your way. The upcoming event is lovely. If you could watch your anguish, you would find it humorous. The stress would be dissipated. You would stop imploring others who do not acknowledge your worth to support your perspective. The past is irrelevant to the goal of your existence. It does not cause any audible pain. It seems to signify expansion. It conveys a sense of liberation. You are tired of simply surviving. You are aware of how to survive in this situation. To wake up without fear. Enter rooms without shrinking. To love fearlessly. Have a dream about any subject. Tonight, paradise helps you rediscover your trust. Believe in calm. Believe in the power of affection. Have confidence in oneself. You were not neglected by God. He stopped from leaving. He kept an eye on you throughout the entire occasion. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. He is currently writing a new version of your story. Be cautious tonight. It's likely that the airflow feels slightly different. Certain scents can bring back memories of a loved one. As you fall asleep, you may feel a reassuring presence. That's paradise. That's your guardian deity. Archangel Michael will carry out his obligation as previously indicated. Remain in the current moment. Changes in your spiritual state will have long-term consequences. An endless phenomenon is currently unfolding. Something stronger than fear, pain, and any other force that has tried to weaken you. It is not a passing occurrence. This is the start of a much more serious endeavor. The way you advance is an important issue. You were so exhausted from the past few years that you had forgotten how to breathe easily. The ability to awaken without fear. Not because you did something right, but because grace arrived despite your acts. This evening is distinctive. God would not allow you to spend another night alone. He heard each silent lament. He selected you. Archangel Michael protects you, ensuring your safety. In addition, he reminds you of your genuine identity. A warrior from the heavens. Very cherished. Selected with purposeful intent. You did not journey this far just to have a disaster. You did not just find this message. The timing was amazing. Things began to change immediately after it opened. Even if you are unable to notice it, the work has begun. Trust is the only condition. Even faith that is not strong. That is enough. Unusual incidents may occur tonight. A quick onset of chills. Flickering lights. A mild breeze. This is a group of angels that are moving through your area. Do not be intimidated by it. Heaven is like a lovely blanket that surrounds your home. The restoration of peace is imminent. Tonight, between solitude and slumber, there will be a holy time. In that silence, you might hear a name, a murmur, or a recollection. This sounds like the Holy Spirit. If at all possible, write it down. It will soon become understandable. You asked, how can I be certain that God continues to care? This is the method. You are still capable of breathing. This is the procedure. You got this message with the same intensity as your feelings. Even when you were dazed, love continued to seek you. This is how heaven depicts things. Do not believe that you have failed too regularly at this time. Heaven has forgiven you in all of your manifestations. Every time someone falls, assistance is provided. Shame is not an issue tonight. It refers to the act of kindness, a new beginning, a fresh start. Please let go of the past at this moment. Lose your sense of remorse. Allow the shame to collapse like a broken chain. You are no longer the same person you were before. And tonight, heaven confirms it. You're in good health. Even the actions you are still trying to absolve yourself of. Even when you tried to hide yourself, heaven noticed you. Despite your doubts, you were loved. Something spectacular is coming into your life tonight that the darkness cannot stop. Without a guarantee. Stress is not an issue. Have no fear. Do not feel guilty. When God says, "Let there be light," darkness becomes unable to resist. These words were recently pronounced over your head, your family, your job, and your home. Examine the surroundings. There's already a divide. The weight is reducing. Even if you can't verbalize it right now, it's easier to think about. Your heartbeat is unusually peaceful. If you are currently in a state of peace, please put Amen in the box provided below to thank God for His successes, even if you have not yet seen the results. This isn't a fake. This is a real-time example of spiritual transformation. You demanded a substantial advancement. You were actually looking for a portent. God, if you are genuine, please prove your existence, you pondered. That's the response. You are not required to return to the prior state of affairs after tonight. This is the point at which everything transforms. Do not be hesitant to move forward. Faith that declares, I am uncertain about the future, but I am aware of those who are with me. This is capable of moving mountains, healing souls, and allowing those who are unable to do so on their own, much like faith. Before retiring for the evening, speak these words into the air, your room, and your future. I am delighted to report that I am welcoming heaven to this site. I want God to enter my life and household. I'm grateful to the angels for keeping track of the heartbeats, windows, and entrances. I gave up the past. I got over my nervousness. I prefer serenity. I prefer clarity. I agree to be under God's protection. I agree that the situation is improving. Pronounce it aloud. The truth is still strong, even if your voice shakes, especially if it rattles. There is the start of something divine. It is possible that your dreams tonight are conveying a message. Your thoughts may be more clear tomorrow. Suddenly, your path may make sense in ways you had not anticipated. Please be cautious. Starting tonight, you're no longer just surviving. You're prepared. Positive events happen to you. You are getting closer to your goal. The sky is visible at this moment. This moment will stay with you forever because it is palpable. This will stay with you regardless of how heated the situation develops in the future. This is paradise. This is my home. We are nearing the end of this amazing gathering. You remained. Heaven knows you're working on something important because you didn't scroll away. This person is distinct from the one who started the reading. Your spirit is lighter. Your thoughts are less preoccupied. It is more comfy in your breasts. This isn't an error. Heaven has touched your spirit. It was more than just the words you read. It was intended that you would meet a spiritual being. Keep your shields up, Archangel Michael. He oversees both the parts of your body you conceal and the location in which you live. The suffering you hid behind artificial grins, the questions you evaded, and the scars you disguised. Heaven maintained its omnipresence and abstained from retreat. Please allow me to transport this for you, it said. Allow it to happen if you have a bodily problem, such as a constriction of the throat or fullness of the eyelids. That is the ability of compassion to heal. Your mind is finally breathing after a lengthy time of internal confinement. A sacred event is now taking place in your vicinity. The air is smoother, gentler, and safer. This isn't a fake. Currently, there is spiritual activity that is not seen but deeply felt. Obstacles are crumbling. Chains are cracking. The breath of God unlocks doors that have been sealed for years. You wept. I am incapable of accomplishing this independently. Heaven said, you were never intended to. You have always been under the protection of a person in heaven. You were observed to be stern. They offered messages of comfort in your dreams. It resembled memories or your consciousness, yet they were definitely real. They gave you with illumination during times of profound darkness. If you sense someone close by, it is most likely that they are standing with your guardian angels, resting their hand over your heart to tell you that they have never forgotten about you. You have not yet traveled a substantial distance, so there is no cause for fear. Miracles can happen even if not everyone is perfect. They require your candor. A simple affirmative. When you remained, you responded positively. Despite the murmurs of skepticism, you chose to believe. That's faith. Excessively sufficient. There will still be cyclones, but you will never have to face them alone again. Angels will be present in front, beside, and behind you. Archangel Michael is now here to protect you, his sword drawn. To fight beside you, not in your place, and not to do harm. He brightens each chamber by moving through its shadows. Now is the time to rest. You're not alone. The events of tonight will have a lasting influence on you. It is possible that it will not cause any disruption. It may not produce thunder or light, but it will be noticeable to you. A sound will be produced. You'll be able to breathe more fully. It'll be easier to relax. It'll be safer to retire for the night. Upon rising, you may have a feeling of direction or clarity about your actions as a result of your positive feedback. Because of your willingness to let your emotions be vulnerable. As a result of your listening to the voice of heaven. The repetition of digits or the recall of your name during prayer should not cause concern. These sound like reflections on the meeting. Stay in touch. Maintain an open mind. Initially, there will be no obvious difference in the environment. Nonetheless, you will feel an inner sense of fortitude. This is because you have already experienced actual transformation. Your spirit has now become aware of reality. Heaven appears to be more similar to it. You'll be aware of what fits your personality and what doesn't. Things that were previously satisfactory may now appear odd. That marks the emergence of discernment. That's a gift from you. Don't overlook it. He wishes to follow you on a daily basis, through every breath and moment. If you want to stay in tune with God's voice and continue to receive wisdom tailored to your current situation, make sure you're subscribed. This keeps you in tune with the prophetic flow that God is using to observe and aid you during your peaceful journeys. In areas that are generally quiet, He does it while no one else is around. He perceives you. He is pleased with your presence. I am happy for you. You maintained your determination. You remained. That's already a victory. You are currently engulfed by brightness. Please be aware that each door is closely monitored while you are sleeping tonight. We are protected by angels. Archangel Michael, whose weapon is on fire at the foot of your bed, is studying what you cannot see. Heaven is no longer tranquil. It is possible that there is someone else in the room with you. Your breakthrough is not imminent. It has already begun. This should be spoken loudly before retiring for the night. Admit it, I have given up. My spirit and house are open to God. Archangel Michael protects me. My health is improving. I feel peaceful. This home is designated as a holy site. I'm going to take a break. I shall rise. I will proceed in a state of brilliance. That concludes the matter. The portal to the spirit world is now wide open. You understood the significance of the call. You replied. A new period has begun. An improved location. A greater sense of serenity. The existence of holiness. This isn't the conclusion. This is the beginning. As these final words pierce your brain, an internal power silently shifts. It's not too noisy, but it's authentic. The weight is raised. Peace replaces pressure. Genuine harmony, not just on the surface. A form of protection that ensures your safety. A new wire has been placed inside you. Your spirit was cared for in heaven, and now it is time for you to heal. You may not yet understand the scope of the changes that have transpired, but you will. Fear will start to subside. Your sorrow will no longer define you. You will be able to communicate more easily. You'll be certain about your decision. You may now recall who is accompanying you. Please keep in mind the significance of this event. Many people overlook marvels because of their small size. You didn't. You remained. It laid a spiritual basis. What was planted tonight will promote peace, safety, and direction. In the following days, the conversation will take on new forms. The replies will appear. The doors will automatically open. Heaven will achieve what you were unable to. This message was not intended only to relieve your distress. It served as a wake-up call. You're no longer achieving success. It is time for you to take responsibility and define a goal. You are no longer the villain in your story. It's being created by you and God. Your voice quality has improved. The amount of strides you take has dropped. Everywhere you go, you are safe. Now is the time for you to develop alignment. In the comments, put "I walk with angels" to reflect the person you are becoming, not the person you were. Archangel Michael arrived to serve as a reminder of your own power, not his. Your being is full of God's illumination. You are dressed in sacred armor. You are a threat to the darkness. Your looks are reminiscent of paradise. Despite the conclusion of this communication, the meeting will continue. Do not let anything reduce the sensation you have felt. Please keep this document. Recite these truths daily. Be aware of the oscillations in the air that surrounds you. Certain individuals may notice an oddity. You will realize the reasoning. When everything was calm, you discovered paradise. You allow your spirit to expand. You again greeted God. That is far more effective than any alternative you might devise. Have a sense of security while living. Speak in a way that expresses your want to be heard. Stroll in the style of the person you've chosen. Pause and feel secure. Tonight, we are protected by angels. If you sincerely want to embrace this calling, write about your experiences walking with angels. It goes beyond simple language. This is the essence of faith. Love without limitations. Illuminate. You were meant to accomplish this. Remember this before it becomes dark. The person who designed the constellations is approaching. Angels involved in invisible fights pause to communicate with you. Your spirit has been renewed following tiredness. Archangel Michael is not observing from a distance. He leads you, walks with you, and oversees you. He may be invisible to you, yet you will be aware of his presence. Now take a deep inhale. When you're ready, close your eyes. Allow the peace to continue. Allow it to occupy all of the empty places. Your marvel has already happened. Heaven is ecstatic for you. You answered the phone. Lead a lighted existence. You've been selected. It is secure for you. You are valued. Please forward this message to a member of your social network as you advance. This move broadens the scope of the innovation beyond your own capabilities. And the anointing you have received can now be shared with all members of your network. Amen. Take time to fully absorb this truth. You did not get to this area by chance. This signifies the end of an important crossroads. There was no chance, fortuitous timing, or luck involved in this case. Archangel Michael meant to deliver this word straight to you. His hand is stretched toward you, beckoning you to a safe atmosphere, a higher realm, where divine abundance is more than a wish, but a promise that is now happening. This invitation is based on a simple concept with the potential to transform your life. Alignment does not always result in positive outcomes. They spread and permeate every element of your life. Accepting this invitation will allow you to obtain early access to counsel, wisdom, and insight that is usually unavailable to the general public. This is a sacred site that has been dedicated to help you with your personal development, clarity, and progress toward your desired objective. Assistance is easily accessible in this location. The course becomes clearer at this point. Progress is accelerating in this location. Make sure you do not pass up this opportunity. Your breakthrough is already present, waiting for you. Do not hesitate to move forward. You are on the verge of entering a fortunate future. My sweetheart, the moment has come for you. Have faith, and you will see God multiply the possessions you relinquish. Be a part of the elite group of people chosen for those who are ready to ascend. If you want to go deeper, the path has already been laid out for you. The invitation is complete and ready to be sent. Furthermore, people who are inspired to contribute to this effort should be informed that their help is greatly appreciated. However, simply being present has a tremendous impact. Being attentive, receptive, and willing to assist is important. Execute the action. The promised item is on its way to you. This brings the missive to its conclusion as planned. After fully comprehending this message, it is critical to acknowledge that this meeting was not an accident. You are present for a reason. You may not have noticed it, but you have always experienced it. This was not an opportunity to convince, but rather to unite. It's not a coincidence. It's a moment of recognition. This was meant to be communicated to you at this time while your spirit was prepared. The deeds that began tonight will not end with the completion of the written word. It remains with you in a peaceful, steady, and unwavering manner throughout your life. Keep this in mind as you progress. It should have an impact on your sleep habits, speech, decisions, and beliefs. You can no longer walk unaided. You were never really yourself. What is currently enveloping you will last in the future. The precaution remains in place. Guidance is still available. Love persists. Maintain an open door. Continue to persevere. Please be cautious. Every stage of the process will be open and transparent, but not all at once. It will always happen at the perfect time. Accept the truth that God has put within you. You should believe in your emotions. Believe in the knowledge you have at this moment. The message continues. This signifies the beginning of a new perspective to the world. Take time to fully absorb this truth before we complete this powerful message. This message was not discovered coincidentally. It was never an error. Not by accident, but rather through coincidence or at the perfect time. This communication was provided to you directly by Archangel Michael and was intended solely for you. His hand is extended toward you, beckoning you to a safe, elevated spot where heavenly wealth is not only expected, but assured. He intends for you to be in a place where blessings proliferate and permeate all elements of your life. Despite its simplicity, this idea has the power to transform everything. When you choose to align with the divine, positive things begin to happen. By accepting this offer right away, you will have the opportunity to receive aid, wisdom, and guidance that are rarely given to the general public. You are about to enter a sacred space that is designed to help you obtain a better perspective, grow spiritually, and progress toward your destiny. Assistance is easily accessible in this location. This simplifies the process of determining the destination. At this moment, the action picks up. Please do not let this sacred moment pass. Your important breakthrough is approaching. Do not hesitate to move forward. The inner circle has been created for people who are ready to rise and fully pursue their calling. You've already got the invitation. If you would like to contribute more, please be aware that all donations are highly appreciated. However, just being present is extremely beneficial. I sincerely appreciate your attentiveness, eagerness to assist, and candor. Execute the action. You've already received the products promised to you. The final section of the communication intended for you is as follows.